Jeff Bezos' billionaire lifestyle after retirement. Jeff Bezos is one of the richest men in the world despite losing roughly 20% of his wealth over the last 1 year. At the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020, he was the richest man in the world, with a net worth close to $200 billion. But even with a current net worth of $130 billion, he can still afford to live a lifestyle that only a few can dream of. Mr. Bezos retired from his chairmanship position as head of Amazon a few months back, and he also got divorced from his wife of many years, Mackenzie Bezos. So how does he live his life now? What does he do with his money now that he has stepped away from running a mega corporation like Amazon? Keep watching this video to find out. Life on a super yacht. Jeff Bezos doesn't spend his time solely on land, but on Esther as well. In 2021, Bloomberg reported that the billionaire was building a 417-foot superyacht valued at $500 million. So while the rest of the world was coming out of the COVID pandemic to put their lives together again, he was planning a life of luxury in water. But his wasn't just any luxury yacht. Though the sails of the vessel was so tall, engineers had to dismantle the historic bridge in Rotterdam so the yacht could sail out of the city after it was completed. The Bezos yacht has a helicopter helipad so he can take off for land at a moment's notice. It also has a support yacht that sails alongside the main vessel. All in all, Mr. Bezos' super yacht has a total passenger of 45 guests and crew members. Property portfolio. Despite being retired, Mr. Bezos still has an eye for investment. For a man who has made so much money in his lifetime, spotting and exploiting investment opportunities is second nature. Towards the end of 2022, Architectural Digest Co. released a report that the billionaire was amassing a string of real estate properties valued at $578 million. Despite spending more than $500 million on real estate assets, he still had enough cash to splurge in another shadow yacht valued at $80 million. When you combine both, that brings the total amount of money spent towards the end of 2021 to almost $700 million. In this day and age of high inflation and soaring energy prices, Jeff Bezos appears to be immune to the economic shockwaves sweeping across the globe. When you have amassed as much money as he has, closing a house sale is as easy as visiting the mall to shop for milk. Homes in Beverly Hills and Hawaii. If there is one thing we've learned about Mr. Bezos since he retired, it is that he has become somewhat of a property collector. Few months after announcing his retirement, he invested in a 13,600 square foot Georgian mansion in Berkeley Hills inside the Jack Warner estate. How much did he pay the former owner, David Geffen, for the property? A whopping $165 million. Then more recently, he bought one of the most expensive homes ever listed for sale in Maui, Hawaii for $78 million. The birth of mansion colonies. Still on his billionaire lifestyle after retirement, Jeff Bezos has continued to chase a dream he had years back after he had founded Amazon. At the time, he had a dream of buying mansions in the same locations and linking them together to form massive mansion colonies. Even back in the 90s, before he struck his first billions, he bought 2 homes the size of 29,000 square feet sitting in an exclusive Seattle Medina neighborhood close to where fellow Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates lives. In that same year, he added another 24,000 square feet and an extra 5 acres to the property when he bought and connected a third property to the 2 properties bought initially. And how much did the third, 2-door style mansion cost? $53 million. Before this acquisition, he had bought a Beverly Hills property for $24 million and another next-door property for $12.9 million a few years later. So as you can see, long before he became this rich, he had a penchant for buying expensive real estate. However, when you consider his biggest real estate acquisitions, none comes close to the collection of properties in the exclusive 212 Fifth Avenue. The property occupies a 20,000 square foot area and cost him $120 million. Life in the skies. For the first time in probably 20 years, he probably has more time to travel and chase his interests, and he does that with style. When he is not traveling across blue waters on his super yacht, he is flying in style on his Gulfstream 650 ER. However, his aviation theatrics has attracted criticisms from certain quarters, especially when he was accused of climate hypocrisy when he attended the COP26 summit, arriving on his private jet, which is known to consume quite a lot of gas and produces significant carbon monoxide along the way. The Gulfstream 650ER is one of the most expensive private jets in the world, and only the world's elite can afford it. Released by Gulfstream in 2014, it can cover up to 7,500 nautical miles at great speeds, powered by BR-725 Rolls-Royce engines. The jets are so expensive that many multi-billionaires who like to travel in style can't afford them, but go for cheaper options. But for Jeff Bezos, money is never an issue. We don't know how much a Gulfstream costs exactly, but what we do know is that it can fly at speeds of nearly Mach 925, and some analysts claim a new version can go for as much as $65 million. Blue Origin is the new dream. To be fair, the Amazon billionaire had launched his Blue Origin space projects years earlier, so it did not come as a surprise that he has started showing up at meetings with Blue Origin engineers more than ever before. For him, conquering space has been a dream, but also a hobby, but a very expensive one. He has spent up to $5.5 billion on Blue Origin since its inception, and from all indications, he may end up spending more money to actualize his space dreams. Mr. Bezos, like Elon Musk, has a dream of taking non-astronauts to the moon and back, but it is a service that only the rich can afford. Blue Origin has not become profitable yet, but he doesn't seem worried. Despite spending much on this side hustle, many expect him to focus more on Blue Origin now that he has dropped active management of Amazon, so expect him to spend more money on the space company. A mighty clock. Billionaires are known to acquire ostentatious items, but when you have hundreds of billions, you can buy stuff that single-digit billionaires will not even dare. Billionaire Bezos invested $42 million on a 10,000-year-old clock built by Long Now Foundation in West Texas. Funny enough, the clock only ticks once a year, but it is still under construction in the Sierra Diablo mountain region of Texas. Once it is completed, it will stand at 500 feet tall and will have special clock chambers that open at intervals and release a unique chime per ring. A luxury watch. Finding the construction of a massive community clock is not the only way he plans to keep the time. He also owns one of the most expensive watches ever made, the Ulysse Nardin. This timepiece was designed by Ulysse Nardin, a Swiss watchmaker. Founded in 1846, it is regarded as the world's most accurate marine chronometer designer. An average Ulysse Nardin costs between $8,000 to $12,000, so one can only imagine how much Mr. Bezos paid for his unique piece. According to reports, the watch uses a dual time model, so it can display 2 time zones at the same time. For a man with investments on multiple continents, keeping up with meetings and schedules is crucial. Luxury cars. In the 90s, when he was still coming up, he was known to drive modest cars. Even after making his first billion, he was still seen around town in Honda Civics and Toyotas. But how times have changed. Appearing at events in limousines became a normal feature of his. Now that he is retired from active duty, he has been seen in sportier SUVs as she makes the transition into normal life. But these cars are not the normal cars average Joes drive, but expensive 4 wheels. No one can say for sure how many cars he has, but best believe that they are classy and very expensive. So that's how Jeff Bezos spends his billions since he announced his retirement. He has never shied away from splurging the cash on stuff he liked when he was CEO. Now that he has more time on his hands to chase his interests, expect him to spend big on the strangest of things. Thanks for watching our video, and please don't forget to like and share the video. Also subscribe to our channel for more content.